Most men don't break when things are easy. They break when pressure stays, when it doesn't leave after a bad day, when it follows them home, when no one sees it, and there is no applause for holding it together. Pressure doesn't crush men because it is heavy. It crushes them because they never learned how to carry it. Most men were taught to react, not to endure, to express, not to control, to release emotion, not to master it. That is where the breaking begins. Look at modern life. You are expected to be strong, calm, reliable, but you are also told to speak every feeling out loud, to explain yourself, to defend your emotions. To prove your worth, you face rejection. At work, in relationships, from people who never explain why. You carry responsibility without certainty. Bills, expectations, silence from people who depend on you but don't understand you. And when pressure builds, there is nowhere to put it. So it spills out. Anger, withdrawal, numbness, self-destruction. Most men don't fail because life is unfair. They fail because they let pressure touch their identity. The real battle is not outside. It is internal. Impulse versus restraint. Emotion versus control. Ego versus discipline. Pressure creates emotion. Emotion demands action. And most men obey it without thinking. They argue when silence would protect them. They chase validation when detachment would strengthen them. They react when patience would give them power. Pressure exposes what you rely on. If you rely on praise, pressure removes it. If you rely on control, pressure takes it away. If you rely on others to regulate your emotions, pressure isolates you. This is why men break. Not because they feel too much, but because they let feelings lead. At some point, something shifts, not through motivation, not through advice, but through exhaustion. You get tired of reacting, tired of explaining yourself, tired of emotional chaos, and you realize something quietly. Pressure is not the enemy. Your relationship to it is. Pressure does not demand expression. It demands structure. You don't need to get rid of it. You need to carry it correctly. This is where the Stoic mindset appears, not as a belief system, but as a decision. A decision to stop letting emotion decide your behavior. You begin to understand a simple truth. You are not required to act on every feeling. You are not required to explain your silence. You are not required to prove your strength. Control is not suppression. It is direction. A disciplined man feels everything. He just doesn't let everything move him. Pressure becomes training. Every delay builds patience. Every insult tests restraint. Every loss sharpens focus. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" You start asking, "What is this asking of me?" The answer is always the same: composure, responsibility, self-command. There is a moment when pressure peaks. Something goes wrong. You are blamed. You are ignored. You are pushed. Your old self would react, defend, attack, collapse inward. But now something holds. You pause. You breathe. You let the wave pass without acting. That pause is power, not visible, not traumatic, but unbreakable. You realize you can withstand more than you thought, not because pressure decreased, but because you stopped leaking energy. You stopped giving pressure access to your behavior. That is the turning point. From there, strength becomes quiet. You stop announcing your struggles. You stop demanding understanding. You stop seeking relief through reaction. You focus on what you control, your actions, your effort, your standards. You accept what you cannot. Other people's opinions, outcomes, timing. Pressure no longer feels personal. It becomes mechanical, like weight on a bar. It either makes you stronger or exposes weakness. And weakness is not shameful. It is information. This is the lesson most men never learn. Pressure does not break men. Lack of self-mastery does. The man who survives pressure is not louder, not harder, not more aggressive. He is calmer. He knows when to speak and when to stay silent. He knows the difference between reaction and response. He knows that dignity is not given, it is maintained. Masculinity is not emotional chaos hidden behind anger. It is emotional order built through discipline. When you master yourself, pressure loses its leverage. You don't need to escape pressure. You need to become someone it cannot control. That takes restraint. That takes patience. That takes time, but the reward is simple. A man who does not break, not because he feels nothing, but because he governs everything he feels. Strength is quiet, control is internal, and pressure, when carried correctly, becomes proof. Proof that you are still standing.